All right, let's take a look at the EIGRP two-layer hierarchy, which is what we're seeing here. In this example, we have our network users in the topology sitting down here at the bottom. They are coming into the network at what we would probably call the access layer. And you can see the access layer here, we've got some policy being applied to these devices. You can see a point right up here as we hit these routers where summarization is happening. Now remember, we called that area, that point where we start doing summarization, we called that a choke point. So now, from that choke point, we're moving across the network. We're moving across the core of our network. Now, when we talk basic concepts, what is the core of our network really responsible for? Well, the core of our network is responsible for moving traffic as quick as it possibly can. It's high-speed switching of packets. So we really don't want to have complex policies applied inside the core. That's not the place for complex policy. We want to avoid reachability and topology aggregation inside the core. See, the core routers should summarize routing information toward the aggregation layer so that out here towards the edge, we have fewer routes being advertised. Now, we can implement routing policy in here at the core. That would be appropriate. And again, that's going to help us to control how many routes are accepted from the aggregation areas, and then we also would control what we're sending out to those aggregation areas. Now, the aggregation layers there are the user attachment points. Information that's coming from the edge shouldn't be seen up here in the core. And that's why this policy is going to be applied there. So we aggregate the attachment points coming up through the choke point into the core. And then as we get into the core's not worried about all that policy down there at the aggregation layer. So that's a look at the two-layer hierarchy.